using sports as an example, with sports, you either make the team or you don't. You know, you have the stats or you run the race fast enough or you don't. Where arts seems a little bit more ambiguous. So over the course of the book, you bring in a lot of expertise. It's not just the stories of your old summer camp friends, but as you tracked down your summer camp friends who are now adults with various levels of success, what did you find?
I suppose the big answer to your question is that I came away with a sense of kind of ease and acceptance about my writing life, about my creative life that I didn't have before I started digging into all this. My takeaways in the book are really about kind of dismantling these definitions of things that we have, about success or failure or quitting, and to really like dig into looking at how we can navigate on a very personal level something like quitting, as opposed to navigating it with all like the internet clickbait that tells us how we're supposed to like rebrand failure and optimize every second. If we were only optimizing our time well, then we wouldn't fail in the first place. And I think we do a lot of right now in this cultural moment, trying to talk ourselves out of feeling bad about something not working out, feeling a little disappointment. I'm not saying we should wallow in that, but I think that we don't move through those very human feelings of not getting something we wanted in life because we're trying to not be seen as a failure, or we're trying to not feel disappointed. We ignore that kind of really necessary stage in our life.
Well, I like how you acknowledge that in the book. You acknowledge that there is a whole genre of sort of using your failure for success type books and advice and social media. Yet, I think maybe your book would be more marketable if it was literally that kind of book. But in a way, it explores sort of the wiggle room here because just in the course of the last few minutes of our conversation, you refer to yourself as a writer, which is not a violist, right? That at a certain point, your ambitions changed. You write in the book, I knew music school was supposed to weed people out. I assumed it would be other weeds. And then eventually you sort of used your artistic focus to be a writer, but even becoming a writer wasn't like crossing the finish line. Again, it's not this linear path. And so keeping in mind that you didn't set out to make your failure a success type book, that you really wanted to explore the human texture of how complicated this all is. And since you are a writer, since it's easier to write a book than to play one on viola,
so I hear.
How did you embrace nuance? How did you really dig into the vulnerability that comes with these transitions and this non-linear paths to success?
Yeah, you're right that my book would be more marketable if it was about, the upside of failure. And in some ways, I do think it's about the upside of failure. It's not just this, but it's not this kind of like relentless positivity thing that we have going on right now. It is a little more nuanced. And I like to say when I'm talking about the book, realism is not the opposite of optimism, because I've had friends say, is this just a book about you're being disappointed or being mediocre? And I'm like, no, it's really, I promise it's not that. It's not cynical, but it is trying to have a warm-hearted realism approach to our lives. And part of the reason, it's funny, they wanted to release it in January is because of the kind of self-help market, and they're like, all the new year, new you books. And I said, that's fine, but I'll be marketing it as New Year, Same You, because it is about acceptance more than anything else.